Welcome to the Phil Steele Plus Tour. Well, this is your, we'll call it the Christmas edition of the tour. We've got all the bowl games from right now through the 26th of Tuesday. We've got highlighted here. And then I'll be back with another tour, and I'll have that probably up for you on the 26th, that Tuesday. And we'll highlight the rest of the week's games. Might be the final tour of the year. We'll see what happens, but we definitely got this one for you. I got at least two selections for you today, probably a couple quick hitters, and we'll dive right into them. So it's been a really good year for the tour once again, and I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to watch the tour each week. Let's start here with the Eastern Michigan and South Alabama game. And, you know, this one is titled a different name, but I'm going to call it the Angle Bowl. And this is it really has a lot of great angles, all in the favor of one team on this one. First of all, if you look at Coach Creighton for Eastern Michigan, he is just 1-4 straight up in bowl games. But if you go back here and you could take a look at his at the record for here, they were +4 and covered last year, winning against San Jose State. They did lose to Liberty by 36 here, but against Pitt, +13, covered, only lost by 4. Against Georgia Southern, +3, covered, only lost by 2. And against Old Dominion, +5.5, covered, only lost by 4. So he is 4-1 against the spread as a coach. And remember, these sheets, when you go back and take a look at the results all the way back to 1976, these will all actually be filled in for the MAC coming up next year, but for all the teams, they're all the way back to 76. You get all the lines, all the spreads. So if you want to know the last time a team was this big of a dog or that big of a dog or how they've done the series, it's all in there. This I find very valuable. Who was the coach? What was the record? What were the stats? It's all in there for every single team. Just check out this last 40 years results. Another part to use in the Phil Steele Plus. But other angles, South Alabama this year took on 8 bowl teams. If you go back and take a look, and what we could do here is I'm going to go to the Phil Steele Plus menu, which has a lot of great things, and we can go down here to the logs. And when we take a look at the logs, you get the college ATS logs. We go to South Alabama, and we see that when they play a bowl team, there's a loss. Now, the win-loss here refers to the spread, not the game. You could tell by the score who won the game, but it refers to the spread. So that's 0-1. They beat Oklahoma State. That's 1-1. They lost to James Madison 1-2. Bowl teams: Louisiana 1-3, Troy 1-4, Arkansas State 1-5, and beat Marshall. So their record was 2-6 this year. Texas State they lost to 2-6 ATS when taking on bowl teams this year. And they are taking on a bowl team here in Eastern Michigan. So that's another angle in favor of Eastern Michigan. Keep rolling. Going back to that, if you went back to that file, you'd see that South Alabama this year is 3-5 when favored against the spread. And, of course, we take a look at, just went back and took a look at the double-digit dogs in the bowl games. Now, I'm going to eliminate the 7 bowls that are used for the playoffs, as well as the Citrus Bowl. Those are all what I call major bowl games. So if you look at all the other bowl games and go back the last 5 years, the double-digit dogs, and the reason for it is they've got 2-3 weeks here and how they don't have a chance to win the game. You know, a lot of crazy things happen in bowl games. Look at yesterday. Old Dominion led 28-0. They end up losing by 3. Just a lot of weird happenings. But double-digit dogs have done extremely well. 11-4 against the spread the last 5 years in non-big bowl games. So if you take a look at these type of games, the games that we're referring to in this stretch of bowls, 11-4 against the spread for double-digit dogs. Eastern Michigan is a 16.5-point dog here. And, of course, you guys know, if you've been following the tour, you've got the dynamic spread coach, away dog coach of Chris Creighton, 4-1. Look at this record across the board. Eliminate this right here. You got 4-1, 10-1, 13-2, 16-3, 19-3, 20-5, 24-6. And adding in this year 28-9 against the spread as an away dog. So you got a great away dog against a poor favorite. You got a double-digit dog in a bowl game. It's your Angle Bowl. We're taking Eastern Michigan +16.5 over South Alabama. All right, let's do a little bit of house cleaning before we get to your second one. second play for today. Once again, I'm going to bring up the VIP special. If you guys want to get Phil Steele Plus, not only through the bowls and through the Super Bowl, but through all of next year. Remember, Phil Steele Plus is $99. Just get the VIP special. You get 2 magazines, you get all the benefits of being a VIP member, and you get Phil Steele Plus all the way through next year's Super Bowl. That's a tremendous value. It's available right now. Just go to the website, philsteele.com. When you click there, go to the home page. And when you click there, go to the store. And on the store, come on. And when you get to the store, here's your Super VIP, $69.95. They get you 2 magazines, get you all the benefits of the VIP bundle, which I've explained in past ones. If you want to get more details on that, look at them all. But you get all the great benefits, plus you get Phil Steele Plus all the way through 2 Super Bowls from now, just $69.95 right there. So let's take a look at your next bowl game. And for the next bowl game, we are going to take a look at Utah State and Georgia State. And this is a last 4 weeks bowl game. So let's click on that. We're going to click on Utah State. I'm going to put Utah State on the right because this game is in Boise on the blue turf up in their neck of the woods. Meanwhile, Georgia State's coming from Atlanta, warmer weather, and traveling a long distance to get here. So it's almost like a home game for Utah State. Plus, if you look right here, Utah State played on this blue turf right here against Boise State just last year. They're very familiar with the site. They're very familiar with the turf, which can be a little mind-boggling at times, playing on that blue turf. So Utah State's got all those advantages. But a couple other advantages here. Now, Utah State's going to be without their top 2 quarterbacks here, in Cooper Legas and McKay Hillstead. But one thing I want to point out, we're going to go back and take a look at this particular bowl game from 2 years ago. And I'm going to click on Wyoming. And when I click on Wyoming, you could see that they played in the Idaho Potato Bowl in 2021. Let's click on the box score and look at something here. When you look at the box score, and these box scores, by the way, provided by collegepressbox.com. I'd like to thank them. We have box scores on every single game. And I go through the play-by-play of every game. These have the play-by-play of every single game for like the past 6 years. You can go back and take a look. But the one thing I want to point out here, quarterback Levi Williams ran for 200 yards, hit 9 of 11 for 127 yards in this particular bowl game. Guess who the third-string quarterback is for Utah State? Yep, Levi Williams. So you've got a quarterback that's just played out of his mind in this bowl game already, and you've got the familiarity with the turf, you've got the blue turf, but the final thing in the favor, and this is something that's in the press box, you not only get the write-ups like you normally get with all those projections and all those power ratings and everything, but you get a checklist on every single game. And in this game, Utah State's a 3-point favorite, but look at this. The checklist for this one shows Utah State by 12.5. Shows you the running back, receiver, and you may even look at this quarterback edge here and say that might be a little bit closer with Levi Williams playing. But anyway, you look at this. That's even given Georgia State a 2 quarterback edge. Utah State comes up 12.5 checks in this game. So that's a nice thing to have. And by the way, if you would like to get the complete press box for the postseason, it's down to 4 bowl issues left, 4 NFL playoff issues. It's still just $69. Just type in the code ThankYouTour. You don't pay the $89, you pay $69. It's $20 an issue. If you got all 4 bowl issues, that would be $80. Got all 4 NFL playoff issues, that would be $80. It's only $69. Just type in ThankYouTour to get you that. And by the way, my computer plays in press box. They've been outstanding. The last 8 weeks, 17-7. So far, the computers had 1 bowl thing. It was Miami of Ohio plus the points over App State. A winner, 17-7 over the last 8 weeks for the computer best bets. So once again, that's how you can get press box. And you get a checklist on every single bowl game. There's still 34 bowl games left, so don't miss out on that. But as you can see, this checklist clearly likes Utah State in this one. So add it all up. It's also a last 4 weeks play here. So let's click on that. We're going to click on that and take a look at the last 4 weeks. Last 4 weeks, AGG shows them at 93.8 versus Oh no, where's the last 4 weeks? Down here, 92.2 versus 83.4. Factor in the 2-point home edge. That's saying Utah State by 12.5 points. So everything, or 9.82 points, I should say. Everything comes up Utah State in this one. We're going to take my last 4 weeks AGG game of the week and make it Utah State -3. Okay, a couple of quick hitters for you. And sort of give you a preview of one of them. We've got UNLV is playing Kansas. And we're going to go here. We're going to put UNLV on the right. This bowl game is the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. And we're going to put Kansas on the left. And let's go. Big 12, Kansas on the left. All right. So we got two teams here, Kansas and UNLV. You know, Kansas this year, right now in this game, they're laying 13 points. They've had exactly 2 wins this year by more than 13 points. No, they've had, let me see, against FBS teams. They won by 11. They won by 7. They won by 11. UCF they did beat by 29. They won by 5. They won by 7. And Cincinnati in the final, they won by 33. But only twice all year has Cincinnati beat an FBS team by more than 13 points. So they're not a team that dominates. I've mentioned how the big dogs do in these non-big games, non-big bowl games, 11-4 ATS. And then the clincher on this one, it's a quick hitter, so I won't spend a lot of time on it. But it's the checklist. And going through the checklist, you've got the fact that the checklist only has Kansas by 3.5 checks, and that includes the schedule strength. So this is a UNLV team that's played really good this year. They were a spread darling. They're coming off a bad game in the final. They're coming off a great game in the final. You know, we saw that before. Remember the Texas Tech Cal Bowl game? Let's take a look at that real quick. It's Texas Tech played Cal. Texas Tech was in their final game of the year. They got blown out by Texas. And California in their final game of the year blew out UCLA. That changed the line. The line probably would have been Texas Tech -6 or 7. It was only -3. And as you see, Texas Tech beat Cal. So this is one where Kansas is off a big final game, and that's why they're laying 13 points here. And meanwhile, their opponent, UNLV's off a poor performance in the Mountain West title game. Probably gives them a little more incentive here. We're going to go with UNLV +13 over Kansas as a quick hitter. Now, this one I'm going to give you, it's the first time all year I've done this, I'm going to give you a conditional quick hitter. And that is on the San Jose State game against Rice. Now, I've been pointing out how these double-digit dogs do. And that makes it a little scary. I don't like double-digit dogs. You've got San Jose State right now is a 10-point favorite. But you know these bowl lines have been changing. So if San Jose State dips into being a single-digit favorite, we're going to take San Jose State over Coastal Carolina, and I'll show you why. You look at the Sun Belt. First of all, this is San Jose State team that's used to being on the quick hitters. You know, we've used them, I believe, the majority of the second half of the year. Remember I pointed out they played USC, Oregon State, Toledo, Air Force, Boise. Schedule softened. Guess what? They went 6-0, 5-1 against the spread. They were a quick hitter many times in this stretch. That's why we love San Jose. They've got the run game with Robinson. They've got the pass game. This game is in Hawaii. Chevin Cordero was the Hawaii quarterback just 2 years ago. So he's very familiar. It's like a coming home for him. San Jose already played at this site in Hawaii. They beat Hawaii 35-0. You got Coastal Carolina traveling from the East Coast all the way to Hawaii, a long trip, a team that's not playing well. And of all the teams, and it hasn't, don't overreact to opt-outs and things like that. Many times in these bowl games, we see that the teams that are really down a deficit of players play well in the bowl game. But in this particular one, Coastal's probably the team that leads all the bowl teams in opt-outs. And then the other thing I want to point out here, and yes, you're laying 10 points, but look at this. Coastal Carolina's losses this year by 14, 13, 10, 7, and 32. Their average loss this year is by 17 points. San Jose's average win, they win by 28, 21, 35, 24, 11, and 6. Their average win is by 25 points per game. But I don't want to go against that double-digit angle. So if it drops to 9.5 or anything in the single digits, we're going to take San Jose State minus the points over Coastal Carolina as a conditional quick hitter. We'll see where the line ends up on that game. And finally, we'll wrap it up with the NFL. You know I don't spend a lot of time watching the NFL or doing anything with the NFL. But the Browns last week, the line actually moved to 2.5. So if you played it Saturday or Sunday, you actually got a win with the Browns as opposed to a push against the Bears. But the one thing I want to point out about the Browns is that last week they gave up 2 interceptions that set Jacksonville up for touchdowns. They actually had a 389 to 293 yard edge. There was plus 96 yards in the game. So they played well. And this is much like last week when you take a look at it, is if you go to the menu and click on the NFL, this is a Browns team that's just under the radar. And we're going to click on NFL information, and we could start off with the strength of wins, pain of losses. Once again, the Browns are near the top of the NFL, hit 66% in this metric. And meanwhile, Houston is 51%. So they're getting 2.5. Who knows? The line could move to 3 by game time. And then the other metric to look at, of course, is the offense defense YPG. Cleveland is plus 58.7 versus opponent averages. Houston is minus 11. So Cleveland's really the better team. Yeah, they've got a backup quarterback, but they continue to play well. We're going to take Cleveland plus the 2.5, and hopefully it moves to 3 against Houston in that game as the NFL play. So that'll do it for this one. Oh, one thing I want to mention, I forgot to mention it last week. I'm going to bring it up now. And that is the schedule is updated on Phil Steele Plus. So go there and check it out. It's updated with best bets and all that stuff that's been updated all season long. Do make sure you check it out. You know, the revenge plays on the year, 45-20. The situation plays, 63-48. The AGG plays are doing well. In fact, the AGG plays are 33-21 the last 5 weeks. You got a lot of good stuff going on here on the tour, and all these power ratings are updated. How to get there? You just click on, go to the menu here, and then you click on the schedule with power ratings forecasts and click on there, and it takes you right to it. So you can check them all out for the upcoming bowls. You got 34 bowl games with all these power ratings and a bunch of best bets for you. You want to check that out as well. I'm personally still writing through the first write-through of the magazine. I'm on about number 56. I've had to start doing some bowl teams, actually. I'll rewrite them after the bowl is over, but you go through the entire season. Currently working on Penn State right now, but making great progress on the magazine for this year. It's done in a 3 write-through basis. First write-through is done prior to spring. Second write-through is once spring has started, and then the third write-through is after I talk to the coaches post-spring. But it's about 6 months left till we get the magazine to the press. Still really hard working on it. And at this point, since I'm not going to talk to you till after Christmas, I'm going to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holiday, and thank you for taking the Phil Steele Plus tour with me. I'll be back with you probably on December the 26th. Make sure you check it out. And once again, thank you for taking the Phil Steele Plus tour.